YouTube, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about the N1 Navy deck jacket, specifically the one I have here from the real Mccoys. So if you want to learn more, stay tuned. So up until the outset of World War II, the main go-to jacket in the Navy was the peacoat. It was more form over function though. So with war looming, they needed something that was more functional for people on board the Navy ships. So something new was required, and that's where the N1 deck jacket came about. So the Navy came up with a clothing system, the N system essentially. It was the N1, the N2, and the N3. And it didn't just mean the jacket, it was the entire outfit. So the N1 was a cold weather clothing system, and the N2, it was wet weather, and N3 was more tropical weather and warm weather. And the N1 we know today is the N1 jacket, but it also had, as I said, all the other bits and pieces of the outfit that the sailors were required to wear, but essentially most of the time they pick and chose what bits of clothing from each system to wear. So it wasn't always a uniformed clothing system. But today we have the N1 jacket, which I'm going through now. So obviously for the N1, it needed to be durable, warm, and comfortable. So the peacoats of the previous era were, although warm, not as durable. So for this, they used a corded cotton, otherwise called jungle cloth, that was extremely durable, but it allowed the sailors to go about their duties and get everything done without impacting their daily routine. Now, the jacket was used up until around the 1960s when it was replaced by the A2 deck jacket. Don't get confused with the A2 flight jacket like you've seen with my real Mccoy's flight jacket, totally different jackets. It was replaced by the A2 deck jacket. So let's talk a little bit about the features of the N1 deck jacket first, and obviously most importantly you have your collar. This is alpaca lined, which is extremely warm. That can be put up in really bad weather, and then obviously you've got a flap here that can button that down. So that alpaca lining goes all the way into the jacket, all the way through down the arms. It's totally alpaca lined, which is really warm. It's a great jacket for winter. Now you'll see here there is a talon zipper that goes all the way to the bottom and all the way to the top there. But also for an added layer of protection and redundancy, you've got the flap that goes over the top of the zipper and then the button. So you can imagine where they're wearing these in the open ocean with driving rain and wind and snow and sleet. They just wanted, total protection here to ensure that the cold and the elements didn't get in. So going down, the buttons go all the way to the bottom. At the bottom, you have a drawstring, and I'll show you all this. And this is again to sort of bring that lower part of the jacket into your body, to tighten it up, to make sure none of the elements get through there. You have your slash pockets, which are really generous, really big, so you can put your hands in there for hand warmer. You have gusseted arms with eyelets for ventilation as well. So when you're wearing this, again, as I said, it gets very warm, but there's added ventilation underneath the arms. And probably the most unique feature that I find is not only does the alpaca lining go to the end of the sleeves here, but there is a knitted ribbed cuff on the inside. You can just see that there. I'll show you again in other videos. So apparently the ribbed cuff being receded into the sleeve there was a requirement because they would often get snagged when they were working, but also probably to seal that off and cover it over with the alpaca lining and the durable jungle cloth, really, for the elements on the outside. So that is the main features. As you see here, you would usually get stenciling USN, and then also on the back you would have USN as well. But real Mccoys are one of the companies that offer it without the stenciling, so I opted for that. But I will say I didn't buy this directly from real Mccoys. I bought this on the secondary market, and it is something I searched for a while without the stenciling. So they do hold up really well, and this is basically brand new. So if you're looking for them, I would definitely search the secondary market if you didn't want to buy one new. But that is the features of the N1 Navy deck jacket. So taking a look at mine a bit more closely, you'll see the contract number here is NXSS. Now this refers to it being produced before 1944. After this, it went to NXSX, and that was indicating that it was 1944 onwards. And also this is when the color changed from the navy that we see here to the khaki or the olive drab. So the next question is, who makes them? Where can you get them from? So I've shown you the real Mccoy's one, but there's also, you can find an original one. So they might be a bit tougher to find. And as I said before, the navy ones that were produced roughly from 1943 to 1944, very hard to find. And if you can find one, the condition is probably not the best, but you could probably find a khaki one that survived World War II. If you would want to do that, I don't know. The condition might not be the best, but there are companies out there that make them really close to the original. So the real McCoys, there's also Pikes Brothers, there's Ironheart has just come out with one, and there's also Buzz Rickson, so they're another famous brand. But then there's brands that are taking on their own interpretation. So taking the M1 jacket and making a few different kinds of changes. So some of those include, I think Universal Works has one, also Mr. Freedom, and I think Harry Stedman as well have their own. But there's hundreds of companies out there that probably take their own interpretation of the N1 jacket. And so that is just a few brands that you can look for. Now, the most important thing is the fit. So I'll put this on for you now, and I'll try and give an honest review here about this. The first thing you notice when you put it on is the cuffs being receding inside the jacket there. It leaves your hands available to do stuff. So you got to remember, these jackets were made for working. They were made to be a tool of the trade, essentially. So the cuffs are receding in there, and the sleeves are not too long, so they sit perfect for me. But if you're used to other coats and jackets where the sleeve comes a bit longer, that's something to take into consideration. Secondly, the thing you notice is the kind of thickness to it. It's a really thick winter coat. That alpaca lining adds another thickness to it, plus the outside jungle cloth as well. So it's not a coat that you would wear, or a jacket that you would wear in a warmer climate. It's definitely one for really bad weather. You notice the construction is solid. Now, this is a real Mccoy's one. I can't speak for any other brands. Real McCoy has a reputation for being very high quality, very defined, straight stitching, and something that lasts. So this is, I can definitely feel the quality in this. It doesn't feel flimsy at all. The fit is perfect for me. I know I say that with a lot of videos, but I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't fitting perfectly. If I do it up right now, the zipper is a solid zip. You can feel it's not cheap. It's a really solid construction zipper. Flap goes over. If I do some of the buttons up really quickly, and there you have it with the buttons done up. You can feel there's a lot of padding there. Now, I've got a t-shirt on, so if you're one that likes to wear maybe something underneath, a button-up shirt, long sleeve shirt or whatever, take that into consideration. I would definitely recommend trying the sizing on. As I've said, 42 is my sizing, and I like to wear jackets with no sort of anything other than a t-shirt underneath. So if you wanted to wear kind of a jumper or a knit or anything like that, I would definitely maybe size up or try it on first. Doing the collar up like this, it's extremely comforting and warm, and I'm already sweating. But that I've used in the winter. I've really enjoyed that. Functionality wise, with it done up, I've still got full range of movement to do everything I need to do. The ventilated underarms help because the lining is really thick and it's quite warm, so breathable if you're going in and out of a cafe or whatever. The one little criticism, and this is so tiny, and it's purely down to me, is the hand warmer pockets, or the pockets essentially. When I'm trying to find them, sometimes it could be a bit cumbersome. Trying to get your hands, they sit a little high compared to some of the other jackets I've got. It's a really niggly complaint, if I'm honest. The hand warmer pockets are fine, but it's something I would recommend you do try on if you're going to spend the money on it. I know I'm saying that, and I never did with this one because I bought this secondhand online and it just sort of worked out. If you have the opportunity to do it, I'd definitely try it on. I'm very lucky in the sense that this turned up and it was a perfect fit. I think, as I said, if I wanted to wear a knit or a button-up long sleeve shirt under this, then maybe the sizing would be a little bit off, but you know, that's not what I do. So for me, this is fine with a t-shirt on underneath and straight over the top. I've worn this out to football matches. I've worn this to various outdoor events where you're outside for a long period of time and cold, and it's been, you know, absolutely perfect. It is by far the warmest coat I own, and it's something that I imagine will last for many years. Whew, that is warm. Right, let's talk about pricing. So I know everyone wants to know how much these things cost and where to get them. So retail, obviously I bought this one secondhand. I think it was roughly secondhand about 400, maybe, yeah, it's 400 and something pounds. I can't really remember the actual number, but brand new real Mccoys, roughly 695, 700 pounds, give or take. So you've got Buzz Rickson at 469, you've got Ironheart at 622, and you've got the real Mccoys at 695/700. They're the only three that I've sort of looked at the pricing for now, but they're all around that ballpark, around the, say, 400 to 700 mark. So it's definitely one to look at, definitely want to try on. It's not a cheap jacket by any means, so do your homework, do your research. Do you really need the jacket? It is great for winter, it is great for bad weather, so definitely do your research before making any purchases. So final thoughts then, the real Mccoy jacket. I've had this for a year. It's been great so far, honestly. I've had one winter with it, one bad weather year with it. So it's raining again outside right now in London. It's perfect weather for the moment, but you know, honestly, it's probably not even cold enough yet for this. This is pure cold weather jacket for me. But other than that, I don't really have any complaints about the jacket as yet. It's stood up. It's, you know, it's working perfectly for what I've bought it for, and I'm hoping to get many years of wear out of it. But guys, that's going to be a wrap for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. My little look at the N1 deck jacket from the real Mccoys. If you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. Also like to hear what kind of jackets you're wearing this winter. Anything I need to look out for or, you know, potentially try on. I'd be very open to that. So let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, hit the subscribe button. Go back, look at my other videos. There's lots more coats, there's shirts, there's all kinds of stuff that may interest you. So go have a look at those. If you enjoy that content, hit the subscribe button, because there's going to be more stuff like this coming over the months and years, hopefully. With all that being said, that's going to be a wrap, and I'll see you guys next time.